So, you want to become a Protox Mapmaker. Maybe you've played on a map that you really enjoyed or found an awesome parkour map and thought, I want to build something like that. The good news is getting started is easier than you think. The first step is opening the map editor. Open your preferred web browser and head over to mapmaker.protox.io. Now, this tutorial covers the official Protox Mapmaker. In a future video, I'll cover AtMe, a more advanced map editor. The first thing you'll be greeted with is a blank 16 by 16 platform. To move around in the editor, use W, A, S, D, and E to go up and Q to go down. Before we start building, it's important to understand how movement works in Protox. Now, if you haven't played the game or aren't very familiar with movement, Protox uses a movement system called slide hopping. To enter movement mode in the mapmaker, hit the H key. To slide hop, jump, then press shift before landing and immediately jump again. You chain these together to gain speed. While building, always keep slide hopping in mind. If your corners are too tight and hallways too narrow, the map won't be very enjoyable to play. Now let's take a look at the editor interface. Now you've probably noticed all of these widgets on your screen. On the direct left, you have your settings tab. Below that, you have all the keybinds you will need in another widget. On the top right, you can see information, including your current FPS, your X, Y, and Z coordinates, and your map's triangle count. Finally, in the bottom right corner, you'll find general editor options, such as mouse sensitivity and graphics options. Now you can hit the small arrow next to the Settings tab to minimize it, giving your keybinds more room. If you ever forget which key performs a certain action, you can always check the keybinds list here. To open the inventory, press R on your keyboard. This contains every block currently available in the map editor. New textures and assets are added regularly, so keep an eye on the Protox Discord announcements. At the very top, we have a search bar, and under that, the 6 categories of blocks: full blocks, slabs, wall items, decorations, tiles, and pillars. If you've ever played Minecraft or similar games, this will be very familiar to you. To add a block to your hotbar, simply left-click it in the inventory. You can switch between hotbar slots using your mouse scroll wheel or by pressing the number keys, 1 through 9 for the bottom row, and Shift plus 1 through 9 for the top row. To remove a block from your hotbar, drag it out of the slot. If you want to clear an entire row of blocks, double-click the trash can icon beside it. If there's a certain block color you want, or you don't wish to use textured blocks, click on the Solid Color tab to create a full set of blocks in your own custom color. To place a block, right-click on top of another block. To break a block, make sure your cursor is hovering over it and left-click. If you want to copy a block directly from the environment into your currently selected hotbar slot, simply press your middle mouse button while looking at it. Now I'm going to select one of every single block type to show how they function. Full blocks are the standard building block. A single block is half your player's height, meaning you can jump onto surfaces that are exactly 2 blocks tall. Keep this in mind when building out-of-bound areas. Walls should be at least 2.5 blocks high to prevent players from jumping over them. Slabs are half the height of a full block. Your character will automatically step onto them without jumping. Slabs cannot be stacked directly on top of each other. Doing so leaves an unfillable 1 block gap between them. However, you can place a full block directly on top of a slab. Wall items occupy only one face of a full block. They do not appear on the back side, so if you are using these for something where you need both sides, you can place another one in the back. You can use wall items for decorations, but you can jump on top of them, so be careful where they're placed so they aren't being abused as platforms. Decorations are a collection of custom objects such as grass, flowers, pipes, and other props. Use these as filler decoration once your main layouts and texturing is done. Tiles are 1/8 of a block thick. You can pass through these blocks, and they are mainly for decorative purposes. Pillars are 1/9 of a block wide and are centered within a block space. You can slightly walk into these on the edges. Some blocks have extra properties. The most common are climbable, penetrable, and impact resistance. If you go into the inventory and hover over a block, it will show all of its stats. Climbable blocks, such as ladders, allow players to climb by walking into them while holding W. Penetrable blocks, like glass and foliage, let you shoot through them. Here's an example from in-game. Now, one of the most important functions that the Mapmaker has is multiplace. To multiplace, find your starting block and hit F. This will highlight your starting block in red. Next, move to where you want the selection to end and press F again. This will create a red highlighted area showing where the blocks will be filled in. To confirm the fill, press F once again. If you want to fill above your selection instead of inside it, follow the exact same process using G instead of F. To cancel a multiplace section at any time, press C. If you make a mistake at any time, don't worry. Press Ctrl Z to undo your last action, or Ctrl Y to redo it. I'll explain points and what they require in more detail later, but for now, all you need to know is that pressing B starts placing a point area using the same selection system as multiplace. To remove a point area, stand near the one you want to delete and press V. Be careful to stand closest to the correct point, otherwise you might accidentally remove the wrong one. To place a spawn point, move to where you'd like players to spawn and press M. To remove the spawn point closest to you, press N. Step areas are invisible areas placed around stairs to make them smooth to slide across while slide hopping. Press J to create a selection just like you would with multiplace. See the difference with and without step areas. Step areas are required for all areas with stairs that you need to move on. To remove the nearest step area, press I. Another useful tool is the helper block. Press U to place a helper block where your player is. If you delete the default platform, you can use this to get a starting block to work from. For debugging and optimization, press K to toggle wireframes and L to show or hide chunk borders. Now let's take a closer look at the map settings panel. At the top, you can enter your map's name. Below that is the Lighting Preset tab. This includes almost a dozen different environmental lighting options. You can use these to start out with, but I highly encourage making your own custom lighting for your own maps. At the bottom of the basic settings, you can see the Load Map tab. This lets you open up any of the current in-game maps to use for references or inspiration. Here is my map, Karif. Walking around existing maps is one of the best ways to understand layouts and map flow. As far as lighting goes here, there are a lot of options for light color, sky color, and fog. I won't get much into these, but there's a ton you can do with it, and I highly encourage you once again to experiment with them to make something cool. At the bottom of the map settings widget, there are several options for managing your map. You can save your map manually in your browser. Copy map code to copy the entire map to your clipboard. Or download map to save it as a text file that you can share with others. Finally, if you ever want to start over, click Reset Map to return to the default platform. To open a downloaded or shared map, click Import Map Code. Paste the contents of the text file into the box and click Import. Those are all the basic functions of the Mapmaker. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a like and subscribe and hit the bell for more Protox content.